The market is volatile, the stocks keep going down. Then boom, we hit new highs. Everything is different now, but you don't gotta chase. Don't panic, don't stress. Time to realign, plan it out, invest. It's the First Fruits Podcast. We elevating with the First Fruits Podcast. No time for waiting, time to grow, give back, reinvest like that. Everything you need to know, the First Fruits Podcast. Let's go.
Welcome to another episode of the First Fruit Stock Club. Man, I hope everybody is doing well out there, having a great week. Man, my week has been outstanding, a little up and down, but man, that's expected in life. Continuing on, coaching my kids in basketball. That's when we're entering into the end of our basketball season. We're hitting the playoffs this weekend. Man, actually, I'm sorry. Yeah. We're hitting the playoffs tomorrow. All right, so hitting the playoffs tomorrow. Wish us luck. We had a really good practice, and man, I think we're ready. Unfortunately, we were at number 2. We got knocked off by number 1, right? Got knocked off by number 1. Man, we played really bad. It was one of our worst games. I think we lost by like 8 points. But that happens, right, in sports. But like I said, I'm happy. It's the last game before the playoffs. So now, now that we're going into the playoffs, I made some adjustments. We'll see if they work. I had to just correct the lineup and a few things I think that's going to help us go a little bit further in the playoffs. All right, man, let's get to it. So today's show is titled AI Destruction and Monthly Income is Better. AI Destruction. Man, I tell you, this week, and probably the last 2 weeks, man, stocks have been getting battered, blistered. Any news about how AI is going to disrupt the industry, stocks are getting hammered, right? I mean, it's crazy. And today I wanted to go over. So look, today what I'm going to discuss is the industries that they're expecting AI to disrupt, right? And also we're going to go over the wealth levels of a brokerage account, right? There are levels to this, as they say, right? Wealth levels to a brokerage account. And those are the 2 topics. I'm not going into a lot of things. I'm not going to go into the top stocks this week. I'm just sticking to that because the presentation I have is pretty lengthy. Thank you, man. Having braces, learning how to speak again. But anyway, look, just let's get into it. So first, please, I ask you to like, subscribe, and share the show. Trying to grow my following. Man, we're almost to 1,000 subs. So just come on, I'm trying to get over that hump, 1,000 subs, and then you can monetize. So help us. Tell your friend, tell a family member, subscribe, and share this information. Disclaimer. All right. The information provided in the First Fruit Stock Club podcast is for educational informational purposes only and should not be considered financial, investment, tax, or legal advice. The views expressed by the host and the guests are their own and do not reflect the opinions of any financial institution or regulatory authority. Investing in stocks and other securities carries risk, including the potential of loss principal. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Always conduct your own research and consult with a licensed financial professional before making any investment decisions. Your First Fruit Stock Club and its affiliates do not guarantee any specific outcomes or returns. by listening to this podcast, you acknowledge that you are responsible for your own investment decisions. All right, let's go into the market. All right, let's see how we did. So Wednesday. Look, I'm losing track of days. The Dow Jones closed up 129 points, 0.47. S&P closed up 38.09 points, and the Nasdaq closed up 175 points. And as you look at those green lines, it was a bumpy ride, and this cycle that we're in is bumpy, right? And that's what I'm really getting at. And I want to discuss this, man. AI is out there destroying. So all right, so let's look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average. The low for the last 7 days came on January 20th. Let's see, 48,485.82. The Dow Jones closed at 49,662. So we're up 801 points. Now, I've been telling everyone that the Dow Jones is it for this year. And I'm going to show you the other two. Dow Jones is really where it is. I mean, yes, we hit the milestone of 50,000, and yes, we came back, but I believe that this is the year of the Dow. All right. All right. So let's go to the S&P 500. Oh, and before I go on the Dow, I just want you to look at the volume, right? And the volume was 493.4. The volume of today, the average volume is 553.5 million shares. So there's not a big discrepancy in regards to the shares that traded today versus the amount of the average volume, which is okay, which is fine. Let's look at the S&P. S&P low of 67.91. Man, S&P hit that 7,000. I thought, man, once we hit that 7,000, we would be on a roll. But I mean, I also discussed how the S&P has a lot of technology companies that are listed that hold a lot of weight in the S&P 500. So it definitely is going to be a bumpy ride. But if we look at the volume, S&P volume is definitely off. It was 3.3 million or 3 billion shares versus 5.2 is the average. So we're down, 2.2 billion shares or 1.9 billion shares in volume. And the NASDAQ, the low hit on February 17th, right, was 22,319.18. See, so look at this chart, right? I want you to look at the chart. And I'm gonna go into the next chart, but as you see in the NASDAQ, we're not hitting higher highs, and we're hitting lower lows. This is a big problem. And look at it, it's down 426 points. I think that, like I said, I've been telling everyone the Dow Jones is where it's at, the NASDAQ stocks. And, like I said, AI, and what I'm going to discuss is AI has been obliterating stocks that may have a complication of AI taking over some of the services that they may do, and that they're not going to be able to compete because basically, AI can take those services to zero, can take those companies to zero, meaning you can get it for free on a call using AI, and the companies that charge who have margin in what they charge, they're not going to be able to charge what they're going. And that's what the perspective is in the markets right now, and that's why the AI stocks are getting destroyed. So once again, I just want you to look at the chart, lower lows, right? Look, lower lows, and and it's still, if we look at it, we haven't broken out to a new high. That means we would have to get over 23, close to 24,000 or 24,000 for us to really say the NASDAQ is back on track. And we're far away from that. Now we can start a rally anytime. I don't think it's going to happen. I think there's a problem brewing. I'm just looking at this chart and look at the volume. Remember, we've been discussing the volume, and if it's a lot of volume trading that in the market, that's what we want, a lot of volume. Look at the volume, the difference. The volume of today was 6.5 1.38 billion shares. And the average is 8.5, 8.4. So we're talking almost close to 2 billion shares are not being traded. That means people are not really interested in the NASDAQ right now or the NASDAQ stocks. All right. That is a problem. Okay. So that's why that we need to be worried and concerned. And like I said, I think this is a great time for you to have some cash on the side, and to just kind of play things out right now. Times like this, what I do is I call like hiding out in the indexes, right? Hiding out S&P 500 indexes is considered, the group of stocks, the leading stocks. But man, even the QQQ, which follows the Nasdaq, right? I think also you can maybe pick up a shares, but I'm still worried about them. Worried about the Nasdaq and the stocks, and I think that between now and maybe end of March, I think you should put some money up, put some money aside, and I think we're going to get some better opportunities. But you never know. All right. So look, let's move on. So look, the top performers. I'm sorry. Let's look at AI destruction, right? This is what I'm focusing on is what are the companies that AI or the industries that AI is going to take over? The first one we're going to talk, I'm going to have 6 of these, are insurance brokers. Market fear AI turns quoting comparison into a one-tap commodity brokerage rates compress. Recent headline driver was AI insurance app distribution scare that specifically hammered broker stocks, right? Right. And brokers, right, complex commercial, special lines claims, relationship driven, those may still be around, but there's concern there. Broker stocks got destroyed when they came out with the fears about the quoting. I mean, basically, AI can quote better than the average agent. All right, let's go to the next one. Wealth managers, Charles Schwab came out and said, look, AI tax planning, portfolio automation reduces the value of basic advice, right? Pushes pricing towards free and near free, right? So that's what AI and you know what technology is. Like technology's job is to lower prices, right? Makes things automated. That's the whole idea of technology, to reduce prices, make things easier and more efficient. All right. But what happens is that people who maybe been in these businesses for a long time now may not be able to profit and these and because AI is taking over. So but the other side of this, trust, custody, compliance still matter, right? If a firm owns a client relationship and can AI is just a platform. AI can actually increase, right? Fewer humans, but it can also reduce fees and reduce churn from clients because you'll be able to service the clients a little more. So we'll see what happens. But once again, Charles Schwab and a lot of brokerage companies got hammered. Right? Go to the next one. Man, property management, property services. The fear that AI will automate leasing, tenant comps, maintenance, bookkeeping, big picture. AI changes office demand pattern and pressures parts of property related stocks, and they recently sold off, right? But the reality is, on the ground operations, regulations, local vendor networks aren't just software. The workflow pieces are vulnerable. The physical execution plus scale pieces are more protected. We'll see, right? That's the other side of it. Will AI continue to automate those things? I think it will. But will that decrease the use of a property manager? I think relationships always matter. Human touch always matter. But companies may not say, hey, I don't need a person involved there. And we don't need a property management company. Right? If I'm a big REIT and then, maybe I hire a property manager or I have my own property manager, I might say I can get AI to do everything, and if we have a real problem, maybe that'll reduce headcount. So we'll see with property managers. Freight and logistic brokers, right? AI does load matching, pricing, routing, and paperwork. Brokers spreads shrink. Right? Remember, technology the goal of technology is to reduce cost, right? Reduce the cost. So if you can do a lot of those things that the freight brokers do, then hey, it takes those commissions down to zero, right? So the sell off was that they felt that there won't be a need for those freight brokers. Tight capacity, but the other side of it is tight capacity cycles, uh, exception handling, late load claims, cross border hazmat, and shipper relationships still create an edge. So that's the other side of it. But most people, what people are doing is now, like I said, I'm showing you two sides of it. Is that investors are like, hey, I don't know, I don't know what way. So I'm just gonna get out. I'm just gonna dump it right now. I'm just gonna get out of it. I don't know if which way the things are gonna go, and that's what that's what I'm showing you right now. Right? Man, gaming companies, marketing fear, generative AI makes content creation cheaper and enables new entrants or new users to build worlds. Right? Basically, you don't have to depend on a gaming style. You can basically create your own world. All right, and AI is built for that. All right, and the last one is legal technology info services. Um, AI can review docs, summarize case law, draft filings, and handle compliance workflows. Right? Do you need an attorney or legal aid? Do you need those right now? And AI is taking over those. Now, the other side of it is that the moat is proprietary data sets, right? Accuracy, court, assemblies, workflows, and distribution. So that's the other side of it. Where in it, where's the moat that you may have in a company? And investors are saying there's no moat. Like they're taking a negative. I'm selling, I'm getting out of stocks, and stocks are getting hammered because of this. But if you're in these industries, you really have to look at where you are and where you stand. And will AI um, help you as in these industries by helping you be more efficient and um, helping you be able to serve your clients better, or is it going to destroy your business and take your commissions to zero? We don't know. People are selling now. They just selling. Look, I don't know what's going to happen, which way it's going to go. I'm going to sell. So legal technology stocks got destroyed. All right. So let's talk. Let's flip subjects. Okay. So we're going to discuss wealth levels in a brokerage account, right? And the reason why, and I went to the AI destruction is that wealth levels in a brokerage account can protect you from maybe what's going on in AI and if AI is after your job or not, right? We need to understand we need to have wealth in our brokerage accounts that we can access if something happens with our jobs, right? If something happens with our jobs, if we're not able to uh, we're not able to continue and provide value at our jobs, a brokerage account allows you, gives you grace. All right. If you have to look for a new one, maybe if you start your business, or maybe the brokerage account takes over. I focus on creating dividend income, right? That becomes your second job if you can. And dividend income allows you to have that brace or that cushion that you may need. All right. So look, let's talk about the different levels and what they mean. Starter investor, $1 to 52,000. What it means, you're invested, but you're still building. 29% of households, by 58% own stocks, and the medium stock holdings among stockholders is 52K. That's about half of stockholders are below the median. And I messed the first one up. Did I forget the first one? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. The very first one is no brokerage account. And 42% of households don't even have a brokerage account, right? 42% of households don't have a brokerage account, which is alarming, right? We need to have this show is about building wealth. Core builder, 52,000 to 250,000. Why is 52,000 so important? 52,000 is like the average income, right? It's the average yearly income of an American. It's around 52 to $55,000. So if you have $52,000 in a brokerage account, you have the average income of an American. And not only that, if you have that plus a job, right? And you have the 52,000 growing for you, your 52,000 becomes your employee that's working aside while you're working. Okay? All right? And that's what we want. 52 to 250,000. It means you're serious, consistent, is where compounding starts, and percentage. Only 29% above the median can't cleanly split 52 to 250K versus while the public summary table, and I did not include that. All right, establish 250 to $1 million. And this is where you really have put in the work, right? This has changed my life territory, right? Where we just not really worried about things. And we know that we have substantial funds aside if anything happens, especially in this economy. You need to look at these numbers and you need to start working to get to some of these levels, right? If you don't have a business, don't have investments, all right, this is what you can start and try to achieve, right? Try to get to these levels where you can have life changing money and you're not as worried in this economy. This is a crazy economy right now. AI is destroying things, government shutdowns. I mean, things are just happening. Jobs, layoffs. I mean, it's crazy. It's a crazy. But in order for you to protect yourself, a brokerage account allows you to do that. So 7 figure, 1 million to 5 million, man, you're doing pretty well for yourself. But even $1 million isn't a lot today. I mean, I don't want to be brink, but if $1 million is not a whole lot in a brokerage account today. But for the average person, right? If the average income is 52,000, guess what? That's close to 20 times, right? And you can live off of 20 times your income, right? So we have the stock portion of it. We have generating dividends from dividend income. Portion of it we're investing, right? Portion of it is long term where we just sit, all right? And having a strategy with that allows you to live a life that you want to live. All right. And the last one, the private wealth tier, $5 million. This is, you're usually thinking about estate planning. I discussed family offices last week, right? And what that means. This is the type of money you have when you have a family office. You start taking your 5 million, right? And then you can do this at 1 million. You can do this at 250,000, where taking you're taking your money and you're looking at private equity, you're looking at real estate deals, right? And you can do this on any level. You're looking at private equity, you're looking at real estate deals, right? And you got your dividend portfolio in your portfolio. Once you got those things kind of going on, then you're really moving, right? And you kind of reach that financial freedom. I mean, this is more than financial freedom. $5 million, that's you're doing pretty well. All right. So these are the levels of wealth inside your brokerage account. Man, get a level and decide that you want to aim towards it, right? The worst thing to do is not to have any aim at all, not to have any goals at all, right? It's the worst thing to do. All right. And if you need help, right, join the First Fruit Stock Club. Can help you get to those tiers, those wealth tiers. Don't do it by yourself. And the thing about it is when you get with a community, right, and everybody's moving forward and everybody has goals, then you begin to move forward as goals. Man, life gets busy. And you can say, well, I'm going to do it. And you never want to do it. And that's the reason why we have meetings. I give you one-on-one. I have a course in there, which shows you the first fruits formula. You'll have plays in there in regards to long-term stocks I'll choose for you, and that I'm using in my portfolio, as well as option plays, okay, and the dividend and the core dividend portfolio. So I help you do all of that and help you reach your goals. All right, that's the job, to help you reach your goals. And these are the tiers that I think that you guys would shoot for. Man, it's been wow, 30 minutes. Been on here again. Another great week, man. I appreciate you guys giving me a few moments of your time. And I just ask, guys, you can hit some of these levels. Like, you just have to start, right? You just have to start. You can hit some of these wealth levels, right? You just have to believe and start somewhere. In a brokerage account, you can start if you're an investor, right? And you've already established your brokerage account. Well, now it's time to really get busy and get to these levels where you get to that 52,000. If you know, I say first 1,000 to 10,000, a 10 to 20, then 20 to that 52,000. That 52,000 gives you leeway, right? Gives you a way to relief. Once you get to 52, then you can get to the 6-figure mark, right? Get to the 6-figure mark, and then you get to the 7-figure mark. Having a 7-figure portfolio changes your life, changes your perspective. It changes your relationship with money. And like, you can do it, but you got to start, right? And if you are an investor and you've already started, well, you probably need a strategy to get you to that next level. Here to help. I'm here every week. The club is a place where you can come in, you can join, get information, and taking your investing to the next level. Hey guys, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. And like always, every week, I hope that your life is fruitful. Thank you. Until next time.
The market is volatile. The stocks keep going down. Then boom, we hit new highs. Everything is different now, but you don't gotta chase. Don't panic, don't stress. Time to realign, plan it out, invest. It's the First Fruits Podcast. We elevating with the First Fruits Podcast. No time for waiting, time to grow, give back, reinvest like that. Everything you need to know, the First Fruits Podcast. Let's go.